All right, a former Cardinals coach, Dennis Green, who before that had the Vikings on the cusp of the Super Bowl a couple of times and gave us that memorable Monday night post-game press conference 2006 when the Cardinals had the Bears beaten and the Bears came back and won the game. And now J.J. Watt trying to convince teammates that it is not a surprise. So we're 4 weeks in. Surprise, or they are who they thought they were. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals, the last remaining unbeaten team in the NFL, plus 165 to win the NFC West. Win total right now the preseason win total was 8.5. They're already nearly halfway there. But right now, plus 165 to win the NFC West. It had been plus 575. Are they a surprise to you, or is this what you envision, Myles?
Well, I got to say that they're a surprise, right? I mean, I sat in this chair last week and I thought that they were going to get beat by the Los Angeles Rams on the road. And then they came in there and really just beat the brakes off of the Rams. I mean, really just gave the Rams a clunker of a game. And the Rams, to me, had looked like the best team in football for the first few weeks. And I think you had them rated number one in your power rankings too over there, Mike. So, I'm a little surprised by what the Cardinals have done. I'm not necessarily surprised by how well Kyler Murray has played, but I guess it's their defense that's really surprised me a little bit. I mean, Byron Murphy has been playing really, really well at cornerback. I probably didn't give the team enough credit for Chandler Jones not being there as long as he was last season. So J.J. Watt has been doing a pretty nice job. I mean, the numbers aren't necessarily there, but when you watch, he's affecting the game. He's affecting the pocket. So I think their defense is a little bit better than I expected, and that's why they've been able to take such a step forward. And also A.J. Green, too. You know, he's played really well. He had a touchdown catch against the Rams, too.
I'm stunned by the fact that they're 4-0. They should have lost to the Vikings. They could have lost to the Jaguars. Yes. I thought that just like with the Cowboys and the Eagles last Monday night, I thought the Rams were on a higher level than the Cardinals, and we would find that out. And the Rams had won 8 straight times over the Cardinals. Blowouts, 251-91, total points scored. And Jared Goff, the primary starter for the Rams for all 8 of those games. They upgrade to Matthew Stafford. I just assumed it would be another disaster for the Cardinals. So I am very surprised by what they have done, and we'll see if they can continue to do it. If they do, if they end up the 1 seed in the NFC, Kyler Murray will be the MVP, and we'll see if they can win in the postseason. Kansas City Chiefs at 2-2. Surprise, or they are who you thought they were, Myles?
Oh, no, I'm definitely surprised by this. And really, it's been the recklessness with the football, all of the turnovers that the Chiefs have had. I mean, you saw what they did against the Chargers. They had 4 of them. Then they had a critical turnover as well against the Ravens that really kind of cost them the game, that fumble from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that, to me, has been the surprising factor. Now, it seemed like they started to get things right against the Eagles, but defensively, there are still a lot of issues there. So this game against the Bills may tell us a lot, even though they're at Arrowhead, whether or not some of those things have been corrected or not. But yeah, I think the Chiefs at 2-2 right now is surprising, but if they're still around 500 at, the end of, let's call it the second quarter of the season, since we can't really split the season into quarters anymore, or a little bit beyond that, then that would be even more surprising. Oh no, I like that.
No quarter pole references this week. I like to break it up into quarters too, but I always hated the quarter pole stuff after week 4 because it's not the quarter pole. Because the quarter pole is when you have a quarter of the race left, not a quarter of the way in. That always drove me nuts, and we're not going to hear any of that this week. No quarter pole talk this week. Kansas City Chiefs are a surprise to me at 2-2. A big surprise. I'm not surprised they're having issues, though, because teams have figured out how to defend them. And they're going to have to work through it. They could be 4-0. They could have won both of the games they lost. They also could be really 0-4. The Eagles, the only game that was convincing, and it could have gone either way early on. So they just need to be patient. That's something Patrick Mahomes told me after the win on Sunday. And they need to take what the defense gives them, and they need to run the ball like they did against the Eagles. And now they get Josh Gordon on Sunday night. But the Bills, in my view, the best team in the NFL right now. They are the only team that's currently playing at a dominant level. We'll see if they can win in Kansas City. The Washington football team's defense. Surprise? Or you are – these are all – I think all these are surprises. There isn't one that I look at and I say it is what I thought it was going to be. I thought the Washington football team defense was going to be good, and they stink.
Yeah, they're really bad, right? Like it's really kind of surprising. I mean, considering they were second in the league in pass defense last year, and they are 29th right now. I mean, everybody is throwing the ball on them right now, and Atlanta certainly did. And I just don't really think Atlanta is a very good football team at this point. And Washington made them look like a competent football team. So I don't know. I guess defenses can come and go. It sort of depends on what things are, but it's still, when you've got Chase Young, it just seems like that pass rush should be able to do more than it has and affect the game in more ways than it has. So, yeah, I mean, this one is definitely a surprise. I'm not surprised, I guess, that Washington doesn't look like the best team in the NFC East, especially with that Ryan Fitzpatrick right now. But I am surprised that their defense has been as bad as it's been.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it's as bad as it's been, and I thought Washington was the best team in the division, but I also thought that the Cowboys' defense wouldn't be dramatically better so quickly, and I just had questions about Dak. Dak has been phenomenal for the Cowboys. They're the class of that division right now. Here's one that maybe falls into the category of they are who we thought they were. Matthew Stafford, the Lions quarterback, now with the Rams. Is it a surprise to you that he's played the way he has, or is this what you expected?
This is what I expected from Matthew Stafford, because I did expect him to, he was kind of my dark horse favorite, if you will, coming into this season to be the MVP of the National Football League. But if there's maybe been a surprise, it's that he's played so well, even though the Rams haven't necessarily had as consistent of a run game as they probably would have had with Cam Akers. I mean, I thought that Cam Akers injury was going to affect things kind of a lot, because really, if you think about it, Cam Akers probably create the best run game that Matthew Stafford has ever played with. And based on the way the Rams use play action, I thought that would really help him out and help open things up. But, they've still had a lot of times where guys have been college open, I call it, in the NFL, right? Cooper Kupp has had a lot of receptions where he's been college open. And it's just Matthew Stafford has done really well of making sure that he hits those plays when they're there. The only thing has been in the last couple of weeks, he's underthrown Deshaun Jackson, and that came back to bite him in this game against the Arizona Cardinals. But I did feel like he had a good chance of being an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I was of a wait and see mindset. People accuse me of trying to put some sort of a jinx or curse on Matthew Stafford, but we've seen him banged up in the past. We had a scare in training camp where he banged his hand against Aaron Donald's helmet. He could get injured, and then everything would change. It would be John Wolford, I think, back under center for the Rams.
Yep.
But Stafford has been extremely good. I was stunned by the outcome on Sunday, but I'm not surprised at where he is. The one thing to watch with the Rams, and this makes it intriguing on Thursday night when they travel to Seattle to play the Seahawks, Robert Woods doesn't seem to be real happy. And he scored that touchdown on Sunday, kind of threw the ball away, and Sean McVay explained that he was just kind of, disgusted because the game was over, and he's not getting a whole lot of targets, especially in comparison to Kupp. And they may have an issue there, but Stafford and Kupp have a great connection, and Stafford really has been good. So I'm not all that surprised.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.